Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to use Copic markers / alcohol-based markers, because it doesn't really matter what type of alcohol-based markers you use. But what does matter is what type of paper you use. And here I have a pad of Bristol. This is what it looks like. It's really smooth paper and it's really thick. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like really thick. You can use this, or you can use mixed media paper. Here's some examples. These are really old. Anyway, yeah, here's an example of what markers look like on this paper. This paper is a little less thick than the Bristol. It's pretty smooth. It's not as smooth as the Bristol, but it's not very rough. You can also use watercolor paper, but you have to be careful with that because it can be a little rough on your nibs, and you don't want that. Another thing that is really important is the type of pens you use if you are into line art. These three pens here are, well, this one is a zebra brush pen. That's what it looks like. Can you see it? That's what it looks like. This is a Copic multi-liner, so of course this would be Copic proof. It's also waterproof, which is nice. And this is a Tombow Brush Pen. And with these two brush pens, well, with all of these, with whatever pen you use, first you have to make sure that it's alcohol proof, which means that once you go over it with your marker, it won't smudge. And you also have to make sure you give the ink enough time to dry, otherwise it will still smudge even if it's alcohol marker proof. So you just have to watch that. And another thing is that it's very important to swatch your colors before you start coloring. It's not very wise to rely on the colors that are on the caps or the labels or whatever, because they're usually not very close to what the color you actually get. So it's just really important to swatch all of your colors. You can actually find Copic marker color charts online that you can print on whatever paper you use. I have mine printed on some Bristol, and whenever I get into marker, I swatch the color on this little card, and I keep it in this little plastic display case thingy, and it's just really convenient to be able to see all of my colors just right here in front of me whenever I'm coloring with markers. And one thing I noticed while filming this video is that these colors have faded a little bit on my chart, and that's because Copics aren't very light fast, which means that sunlight can make them deteriorate or fade, which is what happened to my YG13 there. It was a little yellow on the paper, and when I re-swatched it, it was actually more green than it appeared on my swatch card. So that's something to watch out for. Make sure your swatch cards aren't too old, because the colors could possibly fade, especially if you have them on your desk by a window like I do. Or maybe just not have it on a desk by a window like I do. It doesn't really matter what you sketch with as long as it reacts well with the marker. I use a regular pencil, just a regular HB pencil, and when you're using pencil lead, just make sure you erase the lines well, because it can possibly smudge if you go over it with your alcohol-based marker, which of course is not very fun. So what I have is a kneaded eraser, and when I'm doing my sketches, I do like a light sketch, then I do like a darker sketch on top of that sketch, and when I go over it with my kneaded eraser, the darker lines that the parts that I refined are still there, and I can still see them, so I can go over it with my lining tool of choice, which for this one I use the Tombow Brush Pen, which I haven't used in a while, and I enjoyed using that. And after that, it's really nice to go ahead and establish what colors you want to use. You don't really need a ton of colors. I have a tutorial on my channel about how to use Copics to create flat color, and you can look at that if you want to. So like, you really only need one color and you can use that one color to layer, and when you layer Copic markers or any other alcohol-based marker over itself, it gets a little bit darker. So you can use the same color for shadows as long as you let the color dry before you go over it with the same color. And for blending, you would need just maybe an extra color that's a little darker or a little lighter than the color that you have. And for this character, I use E15, E17, and E18, and those are my go-to colors for skin. And the way I color skin is I will put my lightest color down where I want the shadows to be, and then I go to the second lightest color, well no, second darkest color, the mid-tone, and I go over the color that I already done with that color, and then I go over it with the darker color, and then I just keep doing that and until I get something that I like. And somewhere in there I may add blush, which I did. I think I used EO7, which is like mahogany or something, I don't know. And yeah, it's just, when blending Copic markers, you just want to make sure that you don't let the color sit on the paper too long, because then it will dry, and you want to basically work quickly so that you'll be able to blend colors and make sure that your colors are similar, because it's just a lot easier to blend colors that are similar than it is colors that aren't similar, especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of those in-between colors. You just want to swatch things first, like I did on my little card over there, to make sure that everything's looking the way that you want it to look. Another thing that's nice to have when doing marker drawings is a white gel pen. I use a Gellyroll in the size 10. I just think it's a lot better than the classic. I don't know why. It could be the ink, it could be all in my head, I do not know. But it's just really nice to have a white gel pen for fixing things up. Like in her eyes, I accidentally colored outside of the line, so I was able to go back over it with the Gellyroll to fix that up. And it also works as a tool for applying highlights, which is really fancy and really nice to do. So that's nice, I guess. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and would like to support me and my artwork, you can head over to my Threadless Shop and get like t-shirts and stuff. Or you can head over to my coffee page and buy me a coffee. Or you can follow me on Instagram or subscribe to my channel if you want to. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please enjoy the rest of your day.